Tonight, Monday Night Raw once again airs in the Amway Center inside the WWE Thunderdome, and we have a huge main event, a rematch. Can you believe it? A rematch again on Raw? Who would know? It's a rematch. We have Keith Lee facing off against the WWE Champion Drew McIntyre for a golden, get it, opportunity at Clash of Champions. Now, last Monday night on Raw, Keith Lee was on the verge of earning a potential WWE Championship opportunity in his match against Drew McIntyre until Retribution made their presence felt. However, the Limitless One's dreams of holding the WWE Championship have not been dashed just yet, because tonight on Raw, Keith Lee will get another crack at Drew McIntyre in the main event of Monday Night Raw inside the WWE Thunderdome. Now, of course, the stipulation, easy for me to say, is the same as it was last week. If Keith Lee can defeat Drew McIntyre tonight, he will become the number one contender for the WWE Championship and challenge Drew McIntyre at Clash of Champions if Randy Orton is still unable to compete this Sunday at the Clash of Champions event. Of course, Randy Orton is currently off of TV after being on the receiving end of 3 claymores from Drew McIntyre 2 weeks ago. Now, of course, they're going to say if Randy Orton is unable to compete, this will not be the case. I am as certain can be, that Randy Orton will be there tonight on Raw and that Randy Orton will get involved in this match. I still think Randy Orton will face Drew McIntyre at Clash of Champions. I have no doubt about that. I mentioned this earlier on today when we made a video speaking about Keith Lee potentially getting added to this match at Clash of Champions. And rematches. How many rematches have we seen in this triangle feud of Keith Lee, Randy Orton, and Drew McIntyre here? We've seen Randy Orton versus Keith Lee, which when it first happened was, oh my God, this is incredible. We've only dreamed of seeing Keith Lee versus Randy Orton. We've seen that, 3 or 4 times? Now, we saw Drew McIntyre, Keith Lee last week. It was advertised. Everyone went, whoa, you're advertising that for Raw? Why? That's such a waste. But okay, we're down for seeing it. Now, because it was a no contest, we're seeing the rematch again this week on Raw. And Keith Lee versus Randy Orton, the first or twice, especially when it was on Raw, has been a no contest. Keith Lee versus Drew McIntyre last week on Monday Night Raw was a no contest. If Randy Orton returns tonight and attacks Drew McIntyre, which I think will be the case, that makes 4 no contests for Keith Lee that he has been involved in on Monday Night Raw since he debuted at the end of August. He's only been on Raw for like a month and he would have 4 no contests. That is incredible. Absolutely incredible. No contest Keith Lee. Put it on a shirt or something. Now, does that hurt Keith Lee? I don't think it does. I don't think being in all of these no contests really hurts Keith Lee. But as I mentioned earlier today, I think it's lazy booking. I think it's bad booking. Whenever you do these no contest things, it's because you've booked yourself in a corner. You don't want either guy to lose. And I always feel that when you do these no contests, you never really deliver the match that you've advertised. Because when you advertise a match, you say it's going to be Drew McIntyre versus Keith Lee. As a fan, you expect to see a winner of this match, a decisive winner, somebody win. Even if it's a screwy finish, you expect to see something of some kind. When it's a no contest, you don't get anything. You literally don't get anything. And it just feels like it's a swerve. That's what it is. A no contest is a swerve. It's advertising something to your audience and they're not delivering it. And you can do that maybe once. So last week on Raw, Drew McIntyre, Keith Lee, it's a no contest, and I think everyone went, that's annoying, but fine, save that match for a pay-per-view. It's a pay-per-view worthy match. But to do it again, and you've already done it like 4 times or 3 times prior to that in the last 3 weeks, you can't do 4 no contests in 4 weeks, because it's the boy who cried wolf principle. That's exactly what it is. You advertise something on Raw, and every time you advertise it, as a fan now, and I'm certainly a case of this, as a fan, I don't believe it's going to happen or we're going to get a legitimate finish. So when you advertise it on social media, Keith Lee is facing Drew McIntyre on Monday Night Raw, the immediate response is, I doubt it. I really doubt it, because most likely it's going to end in a no contest again. And as a fan, why would you watch something that you don't think is going to happen? You feel like you're being lied to and you haven't even watched the show yet. So you don't watch and the ratings drop. So maybe that's a problem. Maybe that's another reason why the ratings continue to drop. Obviously, there's other reasons involved. COVID and people cutting cables and people being more interested in what's going on in the news, an upcoming election, whatever's happening in the world. It absolutely plays a factor. No fans. But, the nuts and bolts of it, if you're advertising things every week and they're not following through on them and just having no contests over the course of things, what do you expect? The ratings are always going to dip. So that's one thing. And I've said before about my opinion on the punt and the Claymore thing. Randy Orton was off of TV last week. Drew McIntyre was off of TV 1 week. So I guess by the law of averages, because Drew McIntyre was only off for 1 week, Randy Orton will be off of TV for 1 week too, because nobody is selling anything anymore. The punt kick is absolutely dead. This was a kick that for ages retired RVD back in the day, retired Shawn Michaels for a period of time. It took out Edge, it took out Christian, it took out The Big Show, it took out Ric Flair. It took them out. Like, they're on the shelf and they haven't come back. Wow, Shawn Michaels got back up straight away, but that's beside the point. And Randy Orton does it 3 times with Drew McIntyre. 3. I mean, it was bad enough that he did it twice and he's still walking around, but he did it 3 times. He was only off for a week. And then he comes back in his ambulance that I guess he was just driving around for a week or so, because he wasn't in hospital for 2 weeks. And did he steal it with? I don't know. I don't understand that whole ambulance thing. It's very, very odd. Very, very odd. And also, another factor in here about selling, and nobody sells anything anymore. For a guy who had a fractured jaw, Drew McIntyre speaks faster than me. Support for WrestleNews 365 is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Now, Manscaped, for all of my UK fans out there, Manscaped just launched in the UK. Over here in the United Kingdom, we have gone for years and years and years without using the right tools for the job. But now you can be one of the first men in England to experience their life-changing product. But it's not just limited to all of the great fans over here in the UK. This offer goes worldwide, so all of my friends over in America and around the world that are listening to this offer still does apply for you. You can still use our code. But I've got to tell you a quick story first. Now, there have been so many times, right? I'm a guy. You gotta groom down there, fellas, right? That's the most important thing. You gotta keep yourself trimmed. You gotta keep yourself proper. And a lot of the time, I've been guilty of this, of using the wrong tools for the job. I've had incidences, I'm not afraid to say it, where things have been nipped, snagged, or in fact cut down there because I wasn't being careful enough and using the right equipment. Now that just shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen. You don't want to be worrying about cutting yourself down there. Do you know how painful that is? I can tell you, it hurts quite a lot. And I wish and hope to God it never happens to me again, and it won't happen to me ever again because I'm using Manscaped products. That's why Manscaped has redesigned the electric trimmer. The Manscaped engineering team has perfected the greatest ball hair trimmer ever created. Big statement, but it's absolutely true. They have just released the new and improved Lawnmower 3.0 in the UK. It's also available around the world as well. Their 3rd generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents. So those cuts and snags that I was telling you about before are a thing of the past. And let me tell you, when I tell you this is premium, I mean premium. The battery will last up to 90 minutes, so you can get a longer, perfect shave. And not only that, you don't want to be cutting yourself and trimming yourself all over the bathroom, getting hair all over the place. That's just disgusting. The lawnmower has a waterproof technology that allows you to groom in the shower, so no more mess. And one of the coolest features, one of my favourite features about the lawnmower is the LED light, which illuminates grooming areas for a closer and more precise trimming experience. So you can shave longer, you can shave more precisely, and you can shave in the shower. What more did I need to tell you? They've also upgraded to a 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology, and let's not forget about the charging stand. You can show off your mower loud and proud because this intelligently designed stand is a convenient charging dock powered by USB. So, if you are listening to me speak right now, I want you to experience it firsthand for yourself. Let's get that bush to tush clean, and you can get 20% off and free shipping. Yeah, you heard me right there. 20% off and free shipping. All you have to do is use the code 365wrestle at manscaped.com. Make your testes their besties. That's 20% off and free shipping. Not only are you getting 20% off, you're getting free shipping as well with the code 365wrestle at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com, and use the code 365wrestle. Your balls will thank you. And speaks very, very well. When he comes back, you can't compete. You have a fractured jaw. You're not even cleared to compete. It only took 7 days for that jaw to heal up. Magic. The world of wrestling is incredible. Sometimes you can heal from a fractured jaw in just a couple of weeks. and be able to be punched in the face by the likes of Keith Lee. It's incredible. Now, do I think that Keith Lee will be added to the match at Clash of Champions? I don't think so, because I don't see the purpose of him being added to that match. I think having the match be an ambulance match between Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton. Drew McIntyre challenged Randy Orton to an ambulance match last week on Raw for Clash of Champions. I think making the match an ambulance match between McIntyre and Randy Orton gives you an out, per se, for protecting Drew McIntyre if he drops the championship, because you can have situations whereby, Drew McIntyre beats himself, he runs into the ambulance and Randy Orton just shuts the door, he just beat him, and he doesn't have to pin Drew McIntyre with an RKO clean in the middle of the ring. So I think that's a reason why it's going to stay as a singles ambulance match. I don't think it's going to become a triple threat match. I don't think it's going to become a triple threat ambulance match or anything like that. Here's what I think. I think Randy Orton will come back tonight on Raw. I think he gets involved in this Drew McIntyre versus Keith Lee match. I think we see another no contest. Raw is no contest. I think that's what we see. And then I think we have the advertised and planned match of Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton at Clash of Champions for the WWE Championship in an ambulance match. And then I think McIntyre has the match won at Clash of Champions, and then suddenly, wouldn't you know it, his longtime friend, his longtime training partner, Keith Lee, attacks Drew McIntyre, allowing Randy Orton to win the match and the title. In fact, maybe Keith Lee himself throws Drew McIntyre after attacking him from behind into the ambulance and essentially gives Randy Orton the match and the WWE Championship. Then Drew McIntyre can move on to his next feud, which will probably be against Keith Lee, and he's protected in the process. He got attacked from behind after a grueling ambulance match. He didn't get pinned. He didn't submit. He didn't really lose. The only in the sense that he lost is that he got put in the back of an ambulance by someone that wasn't in the match. I think that's the way that they'll go with this. So then you can do possibly a Randy Orton Keith Lee feud, because of course Keith Lee does own a victory over Randy Orton, so they're going to do that WWE Championship match at some point. I mean, they have to. I mean, it would only be fair to Keith Lee, right? So I think they do that match at some point. Or they do a triple threat match, Randy Orton, Keith Lee, and Drew McIntyre, maybe at Hell in a Cell in October. Is it going to be inside Hell in a Cell? Well, I would think that Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre, considering what they've done to each other, would be a perfect fit for Hell in a Cell. But I'm not sure that would be a match that can really protect Drew McIntyre. And after what's happened the last few years, it's certainly the last match we need to see another no contest in. Heavens forbid that. Now, what about Retribution? Of course, last week on Raw, Retribution got involved in the Drew McIntyre and Keith Lee match. They attacked both Keith Lee and Drew McIntyre. And then at the end of the show, to close the show, we had Keith Lee and Drew McIntyre both dive onto Retribution and the Hurt Business, who were at ringside. I thought that was a really great spot. Just seeing Keith Lee fly around is incredible. The guy's like 300 pounds and he's doing somersaults over the top rope. It's just absolutely insane to see that. But after they got involved last week, I don't think Retribution will get involved in the match this week. I just think, heavens, they've done enough repeats. They can't repeat the angle again. And the angle I enjoyed at the end of last week. I didn't enjoy the million camera cuts, but I did enjoy the angle at the end of Raw last week. So I don't think Retribution will get involved in this one this week. And after their showdown with the Hurt Business, of course, the Hurt Business said to Adam Pearce last week, we'll get Retribution for you, just pay us. Retribution come out, and then the Hurt Business come out. I thought their entrance was great. The showdown they had with Retribution last week was great. So it looks to me we're getting the Hurt Business versus Retribution at some point. Maybe it'll even lead to like an 8-man tag or something like that at Clash of Champions. We'll have to wait and see. Of course, every championship is on the line, but we're going to have matches on that show that aren't for championships. So we could certainly see the Hurt Business versus Retribution, no doubt about that. It looks like that's the feud that they're going with now. Now, there are some people saying, well, is Keith Lee going to be the leader of Retribution? I just can't see it. I can't see it. He was attacked by Retribution last week, and of course that could be a red herring, that could be to throw us off the scent, but the thing that I think the only thing that lingers in my mind that maybe he could be involved is that, of course, his partner in real life is Mia Yim, and she's part of the group. If you're not aware, just look, she is part of the group, and it's been revealed in the internal WWE roster list that she's part of Retribution. Now, they acknowledge Keith Lee's relationship with Mia Yim on NXT TV, but as we know, NXT TV to WWE TV are almost two separate worlds, even though they like to admit that they're not, but they are treated as such. So who knows? this is the same kind of situation that Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins, they were acknowledging that and they were teaming up in mixed tags, but then once Seth Rollins turned heels and starts shoving people's eye into steps and calls himself the Monday Night Messiah, they never mentioned that Becky Lynch was with Seth Rollins. Even when she revealed that she was pregnant, they didn't announce that. So that was only months after they'd done the whole "they're together, the man's man" angle. So that's just WWE. Memories of a goldfish. And they assume that the fans are the same. So I don't think Keith Lee will be involved in Retribution. Plus, Aleister Black, he's trying to tease that Kevin Owens might be linked with the group. I don't think that he is. I think that's also a red herring. But we're kind of getting this seeds being sowed that maybe there is a leader with that group. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. But yeah, my prediction tonight, I don't think Keith Lee is going to be added to the Clash of Champions match. I think, unfortunately, we're going to see another no contest. But of course, as always, this is just one man's opinion. What are your thoughts on Keith Lee versus Drew McIntyre tonight on Monday Night Raw? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll be sure to respond and reply to all of your comments. If you've enjoyed this video, please do smash a like on the like button as well. It really does help us out here on YouTube. But most importantly, if you haven't already, please do subscribe to Wrestle News 365. You can do that by clicking the bottom right hand corner of the screen right now, or if you wait a few seconds, there'll be a subscribe button at the end of this video, along with another video for you to watch. Thank you very much for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.